You're listening to Buck Out and Boss Up, a podcast about dance, entrepreneurship, and the challenges of being a woman in business. I'm your host, Lashanae Hibbs, owner and director of Buck Out Cleveland, MBA candidate at John Carroll University, and full-time wife. Be sure to stay tuned. You're in for a treat. Welcome everyone. Today we have Brianna Aponte, who is a 26-year-old self-made entrepreneur who helps creative and business owners take their it to the next level through branding and social media management. This former Cavalier girl started her own dance and self-confidence movement called Shameless Ladies and teaches dance workshops in various cities including Cleveland and DC. Brianna and her fiance Dre also are founders of their new movement called Worth the Wait, where they welcome viewers into their journey of saving sex for marriage. Welcome to the show, Brianna. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So we're just going to dive right in. So tell us a little bit about your experience as a professional dancer for the Cleveland Cavalier girls.
Oh, man. So I had no dance background. I strictly went into it because of like the cheerleading aspect of it. Mm-hmm. And then once I went to auditions, found out that it's like completely just dancing. So I definitely had to attend some of the workshops. I definitely had to lose some weight. And then even on making the team, they changed a lot with like my hair, and I had to tan and be darker, and it was all this, stuff for an appearance. So it was very interesting. It wasn't exactly what I thought, but it was fun. I got to meet a lot of people, and through that experience, I created Shameless, so it was well worth it.
Well, that's a great segue to my next question. Tell us about what being a shameless lady really is.
Yes. So during the time that I was dancing for the Cavs, with all of the different changes like the weight loss and the cutting of my hair and the tanning of my skin and all of these things that kind of changed my appearance, I started to feel very low about myself. Just like my self-esteem and confidence was really low, because I feel like I was constantly being compared to other girls. And especially, like I said, I didn't have dance technique or any dance background. So I was definitely one of the weaker girls on the team. And it was very clear, just by the way that people treated me, that it was a comparison, and so I walked away from the Cavs and basically had this like idea in my head about, like the issues that I'm dealing with or have dealt with like the confidence issues and self-esteem issues really hinder you from going after life, like in this bold way that we all should definitely do. And so I'm like, what can I do that will, one, help me, because I wasn't still at my best, and then I knew of friends and just other girls that I was mentoring that had, self-esteem issues too. And so it took me a while. I slept on it a lot. I had a very personal experience happen where I lost a loved one, and that kind of like, got me on the ball. So I just had this idea. The name was Shameless, and it was just something that I thought was exactly what I wasn't. I was very shameful, and I was like, I want to just not care and just go after things and just really have no fear and just be completely who I am and be okay with that. And the thing that I pulled together, so I was like, what am I good at? Because how am I going to take this thing and make it something? And so through Cavs, I definitely built up my confidence in dance. So I was like, ooh, I could do like a beginner's class that's all about just Heel 101, feeling confident in the skin that you're in, really looking in the mirror and being like, yes, right. I love her. So it started off as a dance class. I was at a little broken down studio on the west side, and from there I started classes on the east side. I had a downtown location as well, and really I was just renting out studios and was doing a class where women could come. You bring your favorite drink, your best friend, your favorite pair of heels, and you just have a good time getting to know women in your community, uplifting each other by supporting, if you have a business, or even a lot of our girls had kids and they ended up like sitting for each other and really like growing friendships. So that's really what Shameless is about. It's about supporting other women, knowing what you're doing or knowing who you are, or if you don't know who you are or what you're doing yet, completely being okay with the process and just not having shame of going through your own personal journey, and really just loving yourself.
That is awesome. So one thing that everyone, I know they probably caught in the beginning, like, wait a minute, she's 26. Can you talk to us about breaking down that barrier of age? Of, it kind of goes in reverse sometimes. Sometimes people feel too young. Some people feel too
Yeah.
old. How do you feel that your age plays in your confidence, or what do you do to break down those barriers as it relates to being a young lady in entrepreneurship?
So I would say, when I started teaching dance classes, I was 20. When I opened up my first location, like had an actual legit business, I was 21. And it was really hard for me because what I found out, and mind you, I did this in the city that I grew up in. So you always have a different type of connection with the people that live in the same city, grew up around. And so what I found is that the older women that were around me that had businesses or that were successful, they didn't take to me too well. And it was kind of like a sense of, I'm young and I don't know what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. And especially for the men. So women, it was like a competition, of like, oh, you're young, you don't know what you're doing. And it was very like catty almost. And then when it came to men, it's like, it's so hard to be taken serious just as a woman in general, especially to, dominant men who are very successful and just already kind of look down on you. So what I found is pretty much all of the business owners that I was associated with when I was friends before my business, they definitely treated me differently after. And it was kind of like, again, like, oh, she can't be serious. She doesn't know what she was doing. And I would say it took a year for me to transition to the point where people were like, oh man, like she does know what she's doing. Right. And then I don't think that my age was seen as much. And now, being 26, I honestly, I don't think that age really plays a part. I think that people just are shocked when they hear my age. And so they want to hear of like how I'm balancing everything, as far as like a relationship, two businesses, my own personal stuff, the whole, weight and YouTube and just social media in general. So I get a lot of questions as far as like, how do you do it? And then how did you do it so quickly?
Okay, that's awesome. One thing that I also learned, or that we know about you, is that you offer branding and social media services or management. Can you talk to us a little bit about your company and what services specifically you offer?
Yes, so all about it is really awesome because what it does is it's kind of your one-stop shop for everything that you need if you're thinking of creating a business, starting a business, or have a business, or even for people who are just influencers or just want to be taken more seriously on social media, whether it be a model, a creative. So really everything from branding services, so websites, brand identity boards, logos, business cards, brand templates, to photography services, creating content for your social media page, creating content for websites, for brochures, for books, whatever it may be. Definitely social media. So we personally grow people's Instagram pages by a set number based on like what package they receive. We can also teach them how to do it themselves. So it's like a one-on-one training. We offer consulting for any questions under the sun. Really, the consultations are usually just with me because it's speak with our expert, and it's really just anybody who has like a niche similar to mine or that needs social media to really be more successful or to really bring awareness to what it is that they're doing. And then I would say like the monthly management is honestly our biggest service that we get, because that's when a client comes in, they get a starter package, we get everything that they need as far as their branding goes, and then we put together a package to meet their specific needs and budget to, do ongoing services, whether it's month to month, 6 months, or 12 months. And our most popular service is the Instant Makeover, which is so fun. I basically take your page and consult you on what it is that you want the page to be and how to get it there. We get that content and we just revamp the whole page and get you started with a new content calendar and a plan for the year to basically be consistent on your page.
Okay. So that all sounds incredible. What if you had 3 tips, or what are 3 tips that you would give new entrepreneurs or established entrepreneurs as it relates to establishing a new brand? 3 basic tips.
That's good. I think one, I know one is the most important. It's you have to know who you are or who your business is and who it serves. So basically, I get a lot of people that come to me and they want to do such and such because they see such and such on social media doing it, but they have no idea why. So knowing who you are or knowing what your business is and really knowing the why is my biggest tip that I can give. And that doesn't come from just one day saying, you know what, I don't want to work for anyone else, so I want to own my own business, because then there was no real initiative or drive that got you to that point. It's just because you don't want to do something else. And so it would be know who you are through real life experiences, really going through things and figuring out how you can bring value to other people's lives. And that's knowing you or your business and then the why behind it, so that you really have the right drive and just overall the right, like a purpose to what it is that you're doing versus just being out here trying to do whatever. Second thing would definitely be branding. And the reason why is because the whole mission behind branding is to be unique. It's to have people be drawn to what it is that you're doing, to see something in you that they don't see in everybody else. So for example, with us in social media, it's like we do free consultations for every single person that first comes in the door, just because that makes us unique. You can talk to us about anything, and we know that, just from that small conversation that we have, you're going to turn into a client because what we offer is very valuable and it's personable. So it's about talking to someone that you feel like understands what you need and then can actually solve the problem, not just talk about solving it. So branding is huge. Figuring out what that looks like, what your brand overall sounds like, what people associate your brand with, and really the lifestyle that's attached to your brand, because people buy into brands, they don't just buy into products.
That's
you
good.
know and then the third thing for me would be to have a plan, right? Because we all can come up with a great idea and we all can pay for great branding, but once you have this great idea and you have this great brand, where is that brand going? Where is the business going? How do you scale and track your progress if there's no plan in place? So I would say to definitely, for me, when I, did my first Heal class, I had a plan for the first year of what I needed to do and what it needed to look like for me to take it up to the next level and a next level and a next level. And so there's really like a good amount of thought that you have to put into it, because a lot of people run into a business they rush into a business, and then a year down the line they're like, wait, man, this isn't even really profitable. It's not really making sense. So having a plan and looking at the long term to make sure that whatever you're doing is legit.
That is, girl, that's a word. Okay. So could you tell me, what is the most common mistake that you witness from brand owners on social media?
I would have to say that they think they know it all, meaning that if you have a business, you have to be able to outsource certain things to experts in that field, meaning that you don't handle your finances and your creative directing and your branding and your campaigns and your marketing and your hiring. You don't handle all of those things because there's probably someone that's out there that could handle that a lot better. And there's nothing wrong with gradually growing, but when people come and work with me and they just feel like they know it all, I just get confused as to why they're paying for, our services if they know these things already. And so basically, the most common mistake is that if you're looking for a solution or if you're looking for your problem to be solved, the person with the solution probably knows a little bit more than you, and you have to be open-minded and willing to listen and to trust, because working together, regardless of whatever it is still a partnership. Because if I'm helping you with your business and you are successful at whatever it is that we worked on, you're going to tell someone about me. Same way as if we work together and I handle your branding and your branding looks like crap, someone's going to be like, oh, who did your branding? And you're going to say Brianna Aponte. And then now I look like crap because you look like crap. Right. So really being able to trust the process and being willing and able to invest in your business, to have the right people on board to really make it a success and not do everything on your own.
That is awesome. Awesome. Like very, very key. Talk to us a little bit about Worth the Wait.
So yeah, I'm over here waiting still. I got about 16 months left and counting.
And congratulations on the new engagement.
Oh, thank you. It seems like it's so much closer now that we're